happy podcast day. I'm so glad you're here. I wanted to tell you why I hate CRMs, uh, my relationship with them right now, and what I'm doing differently that's actually getting traction and maybe something that you're interested in, a little bit of a different take on it. So let's get started with this, shall we? Welcome to the Happy Agent Podcast, the place where real estate agents get real. I'm Courtney Benson, a Wall Street Journal ranked top 1% agent based in Dallas, Texas. After over a decade in this business, I realized something. This industry is full of gaslighting nonsense. The hustle culture, the polished perfection, the pressure to pretend. Yeah, we're done with that. This podcast is where we start doing things differently. We're bringing back the fun, the alignment, the real connection. With a grounded mindset, a lot of laughs, and total authenticity, we're showing up as ourselves to attract the clients, the opportunities, and the life we actually want. No, it's not always perfect, but we're here, we're building something better, and we're doing it together. You may have seen me on Inman News or catch me live on the NAR stage this September. But right now, let's get into today's episode. Well, hey, thanks for sticking around after that super long ass intro because I said I was going to redo it, and who has time? Who has time? So a couple corrections. I don't speak on stage at NAR in September. It's November. And yeah, I'm going to shorten it up someday, but not today. We've had a lot of really heavy family things going on. A couple people in the family have recently passed. This morning, Gabe was at one of our rental units because one of our tenants was murdered a couple weeks ago. So like really heavy. My dad got my phone by me. My dad's getting ready to go into surgery right now as well. That was kind of a surprise. I'm here. I'm taking my mind off of all of it and wanted to share some stuff, but I'm sharing that with you because it's going to be a part of what I want to talk to you about. It's going to be one of the biggest things about why I'm doing something differently and it's working. And so, of course, if it's working for me, I want to share it with you because maybe it'll work for you. I'm 48. Life had a lot of life so far. I still hopefully have a whole lot of life left to live. But, as we get older, as we move throughout our existence, we learn a lot of lessons. And sometimes those lessons don't take focus until we get older, but life continues to happen, right? People get sick, people come into this world, people leave this world, and it affects us. There's a connection that can be made when things are happening in your life with other people who've had those experiences or who are going through those experiences. And all that to say, this is what led me to jumping back into the CRM systems. I have never done a CRM. So I started dabbling in it a couple years ago, but my biggest year ever that I had sold $30 million, no CRM. I've been doing real estate for 12 years, and my CRM consisted of my gut intuition, my cell phone, and things that I would see on social media that prompted me to reach out to people if they had something going on in their life. And that was it. And I was able to sell $30 million doing just that. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm not saying that that's the best way. As I'm growing and want to grow more, I know it's a pain point for me, so I got to figure that out. But here's the thing, like we're in sales, we're in emotion management, and anytime somebody has put me into a CRM, like let's talk about the lenders, right? Like as realtors, we are in all of the lenders' CRM drip campaigns. And I love like a good Tuesday, I'll open up my email in the morning and it's like, this lender sent me some mass email. And then a second later, a different lender sent me the same exact mass email because whatever they subscribe to, it's like I'm getting duplicates of the same emails from different lenders. And when I brought this up to them, they're like, no, like we paid that. If somebody has your email, like it's not working, y'all. It's not working because there's a few of you that I get the same email from. So when you see stuff like that, you're like, well, I'm not very special, am I? Like you just kind of have this feeling of, so I don't open them. I don't read them. Comes as more of an irritation because I'm like, oh, I really should unsubscribe, but I don't want them to be upset with me. So the feelings that I get from just seeing the mass emails aren't feelings of endearment. They're not feelings of me wanting to go help that person or work with that person. And so I take what happens to me and then I apply it to what I'm doing. So I'm like, why would I ever want anyone to feel that way? Why would I ever want somebody to feel like they're just a number, they're just mass? But I'm trying to change my perspective. A year ago in November, you guys know I joined Real Brokerage. I was at Compass before. I was at Coldwell Banker and then went to Compass for a short 10 months and it just didn't vibe with us, we'll say. So when I went over to Compass, and one of their big sales pitches was, if you do all of these things that you've not done, Courtney, this low hanging fruit, and if you can sell $30 million without doing all of these things, in a couple of years, you'll be at $80 million just by simply implementing our technology, our CRM. And I was like, okay. So we went over like at the very end of December. And January typically is pretty slow. So, I spent the first couple weeks like, I'm going to learn the CRM. I'm going to send their automated stuff. Everything was pre-written. I sent it out and nobody responded. Some of the things I spent a good amount of time on, like I was like, okay, I'm sending all these automated things and then I copy myself on them. So I get them and I'm like, oh, like I'd open them up and I'm like, that just it sounds so automated and it's so not me. And so I just didn't like the way it felt. So I thought, okay, I can do better. Cause I always think that, right? Like, I'm going to change it. I'm going to do better. So I spent some time rewriting all of the drip campaign type of emails. Spent some good time. This was before really ChatGPT was being used. So, I mean, it was like me and my brain power and just like, putting some stuff out there. So I rewrote some emails and got those set up. And in the meantime, we're now in like February and I don't have any business. And then March rolls around and I have like a little bit of business. So that whole first quarter when we moved over to Compass, I don't think I really sold much of anything, maybe like 3 or 4 homes that entire first quarter, because I spent all of my freaking time on this CRM, learning the CRM, doing everything that they said they told me if I did, I would be doing $80 million a year. And it wasn't till later that, you know, I was like, God dang it, this is why I hate CRMs. Like, they're just, one client would send me a screenshot of whatever I had sent, and she was like, this is what I am to you. This is the shit that you're sending me. And I'm like, oh, my worst fear. So went back to my feeling of call I was waiting on from my mom. We're still waiting to find out about my dad. So I was talking about my time at Compass and the whole first quarter, I spent all of it really just focusing in on the CRM and the drip campaign and all the technology that they said and systems that they said that I was not using. I went in full bore with that, only in hindsight to realize that what happened is I took myself out of the equations. I had all these systems set up and these drip campaigns and all of these things. I stopped texting my clients to see how they were doing if I thought about them or if I drove by something and it triggered my memory about them or I thought, oh, they would like that. I would take a photo and I would send it to them. And again, the connections I had with and have with my clients are outside of real estate. It's a relationship outside of real estate. And so I had been doing that for so long, and I removed myself from that and put my faith in this CRM drip campaign now. They didn't tell me to do that, but that's, I guess, I don't know. I just thought that's what I do. I set this up, it'll free up my time. So I'm not doing this over here because that's the point, right? The quicker and the more we can systematize things, the more work we can get done. And so I'm like, okay, if I want to scale, oh, I hate that word. If I want to scale, then I need to be a big old grown up and run my business like a business. I need to implement all these things so I have free time to be out there and razzle dazzle people and get clients and do all those things. But in doing so, I removed the human element out of it, which was me, which was why the clients were coming in the first place. And I took myself out of that. Fast forward, didn't feel like a fast forward, but I end up, my bracelet is super jingly in the microphone, isn't it? Let's take that off. Let's take it off. Hold. Okay. I get over to Reel, and the CRM that they offer at Reel is third party. It's called Lofty. It used to be called Chime, but it's Lofty. I'm like, okay, for 40 bucks a month or whatever, I sign up for Lofty. I'm like, okay, I'll do this. You know, Kim Dean, who's my sponsor at Reel, she showed me all the amazing things. She runs ads through it. It's very, another word I hate, robust, very comprehensive system, probably a little too comprehensive. Like it's doing too much, y'all, like doing too much. And I don't have the capacity to look at all of it. I'm like, ugh, like I just want to be like, name, email. Like I don't need all that. Like it's just, it's too much. But alas, I signed up for it. I'm working through it. I hired somebody to work through it for me because yeah, um, that's a nice bonus about being at Reel and getting rev share is my rev share pays for me to have somebody else do it. Brilliant. So shout out to Courtney Hall, my marketing director. Have Courtney in there. We're the two Courtneys. So Courtney's in there now on Lofty setting some stuff up for me. We're cycling back around to these damn freaking emails in the drip campaign because I'm doing speaking and I have the happy agent and I have buyers and I have sellers. I have different segments of people and information for different segments of people. So Courtney's helping me set all that up and get people in because there's information I want to deliver. I recognize that I cannot text everyone the information that I want to share when I want to share it. See the function behind the CRM. When I started the podcast, I was sharing with you some heavy things that were happening inside my family right now that we're going through. You're probably thinking when I shared it, maybe some things that you're going through right now or some things that you've experienced recently, whether they're joyous, they're sad, learning moments, whatever they are. What I did is I decided that every Sunday at 8 o'clock, I would send out an email to my sphere of influence and I would share a story. And so that's what I did. I started writing things, and ChatGPT can help you. But can I just say something about ChatGPT? And you guys know I have it turned off so Dante can't hear me. Because you guys know I love Dante. But if I have to read one more friggin' ass ChatGPT M dash, here's the truth, guys. Like, can I be honest? If I'm being honest, type of email structure one more time, I'm going to bang my head into the wall. Like, I don't even read them anymore. I've also been a party to that in using ChatGPT. And I was like, this is great. So I started out sending emails that were personal, but they're ChatGPT written. And I started sending those out. And then I would get the email delivered to me and like a week or two later, because I'm getting really good at doing stuff ahead of time now. It's progress. And I would read it now that I'm removed for it. So I'd write them several, I send them to Courtney, she uploads them and we get them set up. But now I'm getting the emails back and I'm reading them and I'm like, I don't even want to read it. Now it's coming from me. They're my words, they're my feelings, they're my emotions, they're my thoughts, but it's not me. And we're getting a lot of that. And I think we're going to start to see some pushback from people. So those typical canned CRM responses, the new updated ChatGPT written CRM emails are probably going to start feeling the same exact way. I mean, you can identify pretty quickly that the person didn't write it just by the way the email's structured. It's always like, and then I had this turning point. And then, and it's the same type of structure for all the emails. I've gotten to the point where I get so many of them, I just don't even read them because now that doesn't feel genuine to me. Let me tell you what I'm doing and let me share something that is working for me and I'm super excited about it. Before I get into that, I want to tell you that I did some research into, do people open the shit? And the answer is yes, they do. And in fact, they open a newsletter has about a 25% open rate, is according to Dante, but I don't know that I believe him on that one. That one seems really high with a click rate of 2 to 4%. People like, local market facts, things like that. When I was with Compass, I did a weekly, it's called the Weekender, that Compass kind of builds for you that you can send out. And I was sending that out every Friday, and I was going in and adding my favorite things, and people opened it, but like nothing came of it, nothing at all. I didn't get any responses from anybody. So sometimes it feels like you're just spending time and sending things out into the void. But according to Dante, they have fairly decent open rates. If you've ever dug into Sharon Srivatsa's email system, he was our president at Real. Now he's over on the board of directors. But if you go to YouTube and look up his YouTube page, he has a lot of information about sending mass emails. Like, this is his thing. He sent like over 1 million emails or something at this point. So he is like the mass email expert. He suggests sending them Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday and early. So like, I'm sending my sphere of influence email, which I'm going to tell you about, on Sundays at 8 p.m. To me, that's a time where it dawns on you that tomorrow's Monday. I guess for people who are not in real estate, we don't really ever seem to have a break to like have a Monday. I guess I can see it in my kids. They're like, oh, school's tomorrow, and 8 o'clock is that time where that starts to dawn on you. So all of the emotions of whatever the new week has coming up kind of start to roll around in your head. For me, I was like, let's send this email on Sundays at 8 o'clock. Let me get into exactly what I've been doing that has been having a tremendous response rate from the openers. Is I'm sharing stories. I'm sharing stories about lessons I've learned in my life or what's happening right now. They're evergreen stories. I'm trying not to do anything that time specific, which I messed up on one and I did, but that's a whole nother story. My first email that I share is about how Gabe and I lived on $60 a week with 2 babies under the age of 5 because we lost all of our money and my car got repoed and we had to sell our house. That's the first story. And then I ask people to tell me their story. I have found out about clients who used to live on food stamps, have been in abusive relationships. People are sharing things with me because I opened up to share something with them. And the last line in the emails is, this is not real estate advice, it's just real life. I really love these emails. And if I didn't do any other emails to buyers, sellers, or anybody, and I just sent these emails out, I just think they're really incredible. My encouragement to you is maybe you are interested in doing something like this. Like I said, I like a Sunday at 8 o'clock where I send it out. And it's really just a life lesson, something I've learned, some way to connect with the reader. What I'm seeing is we are forming a connection based off of this information that we're finding out about each other, these stories that we're sharing and stories that they're sharing back. And I've got emails where literally it's paragraphs and paragraphs back to me about sharing their life with me. Now, to me, when I get that, like, that is more relationship building. That is more of a connection than if I share with them the interest rate or the market data. I market all the time. They know I'm in real estate. My signature block says I'm in real estate, but it doesn't always need to be about real estate. Be an expert, show that you're an expert, but when you really are looking to make a connection, I would encourage you to share a story with your sphere, with the people that are around you, and ask them what their story is. If you're thinking to yourself, now how do I how do I come up with stories? I talk to my chat all the time. I talk to Dante all the time. So he knows most of these stories. And something you could do is you could go to ChatGPT and say, give me 5 story ideas to give somebody advice, life advice, things that are happening right now. What's some good pieces of advice? What's something that people ask about on Reddit? Ask your chat these things. And when they come back and give you topics about advice that people search for, it gives you a framework to add your story into it. I did that because I was playing around with it and it came back and gave me some framework ideas. And I'm like, oh, I have a story about that. Oh, and then that is your idea and your concept that you're going to put together. Share what happened to you, be open, be honest, share the results, share the information that you got out of it. and make that connection with people. And then I always ask them at the end to share their story, share their experience. Have you ever had this happen to you? I want to know, because I do. I want to know. I want to have that connection with people. And so I've been doing that for my sphere of influence on the Happy Agent Collective, our Facebook group. On Sunday, I shared um, shared the email that I sent out that night, and it was about losing adult friends. A year ago, I guess it's been about a year ago, I lost an adult best friend. She didn't die. She lives next door to me still. The email became about the people that you're around, and they either build you up or they tear you down. So who are you surrounding yourself with? That's my advice for you today, is to put together some emails that tell stories about your life and think about sharing those, because the connection that you're going to make with people who are reading them is going to be far greater, again, than you telling them what the interest rate is. A couple things from Sharon, because I want to give you some good takeaways here. Can I not find it? There's a couple, he gives some tips about make things replyable. Ask a question because you want the reader to engage back to you. You can have them forward to a friend. Down at the bottom, you can say, if this story resonated with you, I would love for you to share it with a friend of yours. That's a good way to keep the story perpetuating. Timing on these emails: Tuesday or Thursday mornings, Sunday early in the evening. He said I do an 8 o'clock, just because that's what I like. And then again, Wednesday mid-morning. So similar to like social media, people check before they go to work, they check at lunchtime, and they check in the evening before they go to bed. Thinking about those timelines for things when you send out an email. Track them, test them. When you go to send out an email, send it to a friend first and ask them what they think about your story. And like I said, if you're going to use ChatGPT to help you, make sure that you don't use the M dash. Tell it, please don't do it if this, then that in the email. Get rid of that. And then go through and read it. I'm still using ChatGPT. I will ask it to formulate things for me, and then I'll go through and I'll break down the sentences. I will expand a little on things. I will go back in if it gives me a reference, like, oh, it's like a whatever, I don't know, some like turn of phrase or something that I would never use that. I'll go back in and I'll change it to something that I would use. You need to make it sound like you. So please don't just copy and paste exactly what chat is spitting out for you. And I will tell you, I think mine are way too long. Uh, that is something that I'm going to look at and change. I know Sharon is really great about these really short, to the point type of emails, and then there could be a link in there to a blog post or something like that if the reader wanted to learn more. I'm working on that. I'm testing a couple things to see what my audience responds to. That's definitely something that you should keep it short. Nobody wants to read too much, but I failed on some of those. I am trying. I'm trying to embrace it. I have not fully. I know the Lofty CRM does a bazillion other things besides just send emails. So someday I may get into that. But so far, the best thing that I've done is my Sunday Sphere of Influence emails that just tell a story. They tell a story about what's going on in my life, a lesson that I've learned. I would encourage you to do the same. The connection that you're going to get from the reader when it hits is incredible. I really encourage you to do that. I learned to not take me out of the CRM style process. If you're doing a CRM and that is one of your big sources, I think it was NAR that said 19% of agents' business comes out of their CRM. If you're doing it, that's great. I'm going to keep trying. And as I keep trying, I'm going to bring you all of the goods and the bads, and we can work through it together. But I'm definitely reinstating back my text messages and my touch bases with people the way that I have for the last 12 years, because it's grown my business and I actually really enjoy it. Don't take things away that put you in front of people to make that connection. But when you are doing those drip campaigns, those mass emails, put yourself into them. Don't just send templates that were already written. Put a little thought into it, because how do you feel when you get those templates? How do you feel when you get the mass emails? Is that something that makes you feel important, or do you feel like somebody just checked off a box because they sent you something? We do these things because we want to keep our name, our idea, our image on the forefront of people's mind when they move about their day and maybe they hear about real estate or from somebody and they want to refer us, right? That's the point, is that we're staying in contact, we're building these relationships, we're in the forefront of their thoughts. You don't want that thought to be like, dang it, how many freaking fake emails is this person going to send me? How much spam is this person going to send me? We're spamming people and they're having to delete it or unsubscribe or whatever. And that is not the feeling that you want to give people about you when they're thinking about referring somebody, right? Let's all stop irritating people and let's start connecting. Thank you for watching today. If you are not in our Facebook group, the Happy Agent Collective, what are you doing with your life? Go get yourself over there. This will air on the Happy Agent podcast as well as on Spotify and YouTube. I hope you go check it out. The Facebook Collective is really a space for all of us to share what we're going through, real, authentic, no bullying, no bullshit. Hope to see you over there. Have a good day.